Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I've got a big 3-movie 4K review to do for you because we're going to be jumping into the Spider-Man Ultimate Collection. This is Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I finally was able to get these on 4K. I've been chasing them for a while, and I wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on each of these movies on 4K, how they look, how the upgrade is over the Blu-ray, how they sound, and the different packaging options and what you get inside of this limited edition. So I figured now's as good a time as any to revisit the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies because it seems like we're definitely going to see Tobey Maguire in the newest Spider-Man No Way Home movie, but at the very least we are going to see several of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man villains, so that's a very good reason to revisit these movies. So that's obviously super exciting, and I grew up right in the time period that these movies were huge. I mean, I was like 10 to 12 years old when these movies came out. I played the video games. I absolutely loved these movies. Sam Raimi was the director, who's the director of The Evil Dead and lots of other great stuff. So it was just a great time to be a Spider-Man and superhero fan, and I loved Tobey Maguire in the role. So why not check these out again in 4K? And I thought now was the perfect time given everything that's going on in the Spider-Verse. So what I have here, this is the 3-movie collection, 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray, and it did include a digital copy, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, that original Tobey Maguire Sam Raimi trilogy. So I actually got this from HD Movie Source. They sold it to me at a very good price used, and I actually meant to get it on Amazon because there was a great deal on it a few weeks ago, and I posted the deal, and before I could buy it, you guys all bought them and they went out of stock. So like, I'm happy you guys all got them, but then I was like, oh my god, I didn't get a copy for myself. So HD Movie Source hooked it up. They gave me a good deal. I bought it from them, but it's now been sort of hard to find. It goes for about $60 on Amazon right now, and it was going on sale for $25 or $30. I reached out to Bull Moose and a few other places, and they don't have copies either. So I'm hoping this comes back in stock at some point, but when it does, at least you'll have this review to know whether or not it's worth picking up. So now diving into the review, the great thing about all 3 of these movies is that they came before the digital era really picked up, and they were all shot on 35mm. So they have true 4K scans from the 35mm negatives, and that's always a great thing when you're thinking about upgrading, is to check that, whether this is going to be a real upgrade or not. And the funny thing is, these were actually available in remastered in 4K Blu-ray versions. So it's something Sony did for a little bit. I'll put up a picture of what those looked like. But they were mastered in 4K, but then downscaled to Blu-ray. And so my thought is they most likely took those same scans, because they do look fairly similar, and then applied some new HDR color grading to it, played a little bit with the color timing, and just upgraded to that true 4K source on 4K disc. So I'll cover the visuals on all 3 of these, then we'll talk about the audio on all 3 of them, and then go into the packaging and special features. And so with the visuals, all 3 of them, honestly, look fantastic. Now, the first Spider-Man movie was probably my least favorite and the least impressive, but still a very impressive 4K disc. Even over the mastered in 4K Blu-rays, and especially over the old Blu-ray releases which were not mastered in 4K, this is a nice leap in the right direction. The HDR really helps in a lot of the darker scenes. Spider-Man's costume, I think the red is much more accurate, much more color accurate. Like it looks more like a crimson dark red than almost like a pinkish red like it looked on the Blu-ray. And a lot of scenes are just improved overall with the native 4K. It's not a huge difference in detail when you look at a mastered in 4K Blu-ray and a true 4K, but it really is a beautiful picture, and the HDR certainly helps and goes a long way. It might be the biggest benefit, but that one is the softest of the bunch. Maybe it's the source, the way it was shot. It's the oldest of the bunch, who knows. But Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 are absolute 4K standouts across the format, never mind just in this set. They both have great color grading with HDR. Again, all those improvements to Spider-Man's suit, dark scenes at night that don't look so washed out anymore, you know, things that are the gray uniformity, black levels, just the color timing overall, skin tones, things like that, where you just want to see a little bit more depth. They don't dramatically change the way that these scenes look or that the movie looks, but it just adds a little bit more realistic looking color, and that's what HDR can do for you sometimes. Not every HDR grading has to be this massive difference between point A and point B, but it just improves it enough that it brings out that realism in the picture, and I think it's even more prominent when you have those 35mm sources like we have here. So Spider-Man 2, absolute standout, beautiful looking 4K disc. Highly recommend watching it on 4K. Even if you have the mastered in 4K Blu-ray, there's still a significant leap forward in the quality. It's a great looking disc. And then Spider-Man 3 actually may be the best looking of the bunch. Again, maybe because it's the newest, maybe because it had the best source, the equipment was better. Who knows why? But Spider-Man 3, again, HDR grading is excellent. Detail is much improved with a native 4K disc versus a Blu-ray. All those fine edges and things that just get a little bit soft on Blu-ray are refined here on 4K. And I could say the same thing about at least Spider-Man 2 and 3 and most of Spider-Man 1 as well. I mean, these three discs are incredible. Sony does a great job with 4K. These are really well shot movies. They look beautiful. The HDR is just subtle enough to give you that extra depth and realism that you want, but not too much that it's overpowering. And the native 4K is a game changer. So I really would rate Spider-Man 1 like a 4.5 out of 5. And I would 100% give Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 a full 5 out of 5. Absolutely stunning picture quality here from Sony, beautiful transfers, and really the ultimate and best way to watch these movies has to be on this 4K set. It's just a new experience and it looks incredible. So that's a pretty significant upgrade, even if you have the 4K mastered Blu-rays. It looks really good visually and it does take the next step forward. But for me, the most exciting thing about this release was the audio. And the fact of the matter is here that on the previous mastered in 4K Blu-rays, you only had a 5.1 track. And on this set, you get Dolby Atmos for all three movies. And let me tell you, those are near reference quality Dolby Atmos tracks. I would even say they are reference quality. I would give a 5 out of 5 to all three of these movies for their Dolby Atmos sound mixes. Whatever they did to upconvert or to create a brand new mix, I'm not sure what the restoration and like remastering process was, but man, did they make full use of what Atmos is all about. Spider-Man, think about Spider-Man, and Atmos is object-based surround, height effects, right? Things like that. Well, you literally have this character who is flying back and forth across your screen in the air, oftentimes above buildings, you know, very high up. Height speakers, pumping, surround effects, beautiful. You can almost pick and feel where Spider-Man's coming from, where the Green Goblin, where Dr. Octopus is coming from. You know, it's so nicely done. And all three of them, top to bottom, are excellent Atmos tracks. So that's maybe the biggest benefit here. As good as the visuals are, you know, we already had mastered in 4K Blu-rays, which were pretty damn good. This audio upgrade from 5.1 to Atmos is just incredible, and that's a huge reason to buy this and watch these movies again, because if you love good audio and you want to really experience something as close as you could get to the theatrical experience you had with all three of these movies, this is the way to go. Atmos is going to get you as close to that as you can probably get at home. So overall, audio visual wise, absolutely stunning discs all around. So happy I picked this up. This is a huge step up for me, and it was so nice to revisit these and watch them again for the first time in probably 10 or 15 years, and watching them again on 4K. I mean, I was 10 years old again. So I highly recommend it if you're in this for the audio and visual stuff. These are great discs to own. Now the packaging here is a little unique. It's a digibook packaging, which they used for this and the Amazing Spider-Man collections. And on the inside, you actually do have a little bit of a booklet. So there is some essays, articles, behind the scenes type stuff. Then you jump into the artwork, and each of the discs is just in a paper sleeve, so not my favorite thing in the world, you guys know that, but these are actually pretty loose, and so they come in and out easily, and I didn't have issues with with scratching them. But there's a Blu-ray and a 4K for each of the movies, and then you get to the end and it also includes a bonus Blu-ray disc. So it has everything you want. It has your Blu-rays, it has your 4K, and then it has special features, which is awesome because when you're upgrading, you're not missing out on anything. So the special features, some of the highlights, it has the Spider-Man 3 editor's cut, which has an all-new alternate version of the movie. Then it has Spider-Man 2.1, which includes the theatrical and extended versions of Spider-Man 2. It has the Stan Lee legacy from comic book to Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming, which isn't even part of this set. And then it has over 30 hours of special features from all three of the movies. So all the special features that you loved from each individual release, they're all ported over here, either on the individual Blu-rays or as part of that bonus disc. So it's really nice to see where, you know, some studios, cough, cough, Warner Brothers, are skipping out on all the extras for their collector's edition 4K sets, Lord of the Rings. It's nice to see somebody like Sony who's still including all those hours of features, well over 30 hours of features, extended cuts, theatrical cuts, alternate versions, everything you could want here from the Spider-Man Raimi Tobey Maguire trilogy is in this set. And with beautiful audio, beautiful visuals, everything sounds and looks amazing. This is a no-brainer buy. I think you'll feel really good watching these and getting you even more hyped up for the next entry in the Spider-Man series, and this is a great way to do it. So I highly, highly recommend it. I'd give this whole set a solid 5 out of 5. It's excellent all around, special features, packaging, audio, video, you can't beat it. And so I will leave a link down in the description. But like I said, Amazon has been super expensive, but the price is going up and down because stock is low. So right now, as of making this video, it's like 60 bucks on Amazon, but maybe set some price alerts. Anywhere from like $25 to even $40 would be a solid deal for this, considering everything that's included in the package and these awesome discs. So thanks for watching this. I am so happy to make this video because I've been wanting to revisit these movies for such a long time, and this was a lot of fun to watch these again, to make this video, to talk about Spider-Man, and just really got myself very, very excited for this new Spider-Man movie. So hopefully this excites you guys as well, drives that hype, because I am pumped. I'm still a huge Spider-Man fan. That's my favorite Marvel character. Batman's my DC guy, Spider-Man is my Marvel guy. So loved watching these again and highly recommend you guys pick them up. But anyway, that's it for the video. So thanks for watching this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribed and like this so others will see it and we spread the word about how great physical media still is, even in 2021 and going into 2022. It's still the best way to watch movies. So like the video so others will see it, and share it and leave comments. That all helps. Otherwise, follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. All the links are down in the description. Those are great ways to get in touch. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.